an international code of medical ethics is adopted called the Nuremberg Code.
Principle amongst the various criteria that were set out in the Nuremberg Code was an overriding principle. The voluntary consent of the subject is essential.
Is it ever possible for a child to have a very strong reaction, a very negative reaction, and they don't have that? Are there other symptoms that that you can determine a cause and effect, or is there some randomness to this where you have there's no reason to believe that this child's going to have a reaction, yet they do?
I agree with both those statements. Yes, that in some cases there is cause and effect, and in some cases there's a randomness to it. Yes.
Okay, so in the case of the randomness, and you had a parent, and I'm that parent, and one of my children have a very strong reaction because of the randomness, is your judgment that my other children should or should not receive, and are there additional questions and other filters that you would use?
I would do my very best to try to get at the bottom of trying to sort out why the reaction occurred, and if I could not figure that out, and if I was really convinced that it was random, then I would talk with that parent and say, listen, with that first child it was random, but I do believe that the benefits of vaccination outweigh the theoretical risks with your second child.
And when you're facing that parent who has gone through that turmoil, and they say, gosh, we don't agree with you, at that point, do you continue on and say, I know better? I don't care what risk it is to your family. We have some folks who said they had 2 children who went through it. So how many children do you have to punish in my family before enough is enough?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I know better.
Wait a second. Can I interject here? That's why the first question I asked was, what does it mean to be vaccine injured? It's potentially a spectrum of things, of having a kind of a bad reaction where you might have a minor response versus a major. So that's the problem with assuming that people today who had 2 vaccine-injured children had 2 children who had serious, we're making assumptions here that I don't think we can necessarily make.
Well, whether it's serious or not, when you have 2 and the doctor has admitted that it's random and he can't make a cause effect, I'm sorry, it doesn't happen in everybody's family with 2 children. I suspect it's fairly rare. And I suspect it's probably fairly rare, according to the testimony earlier, that there's a reaction at all. But yet, when that family, and it's a rare occasion, runs into that circumstance and their first child goes through it, it's the medical opinion that that's just not a high enough bar, and that we should go ahead and expose a second child. I think that this is a very dangerous road that we're gambling on. And I think that is, this is why I think so many parents are upset that here you are, not having to take care of that child for the rest of their life, making decisions for them when we know it's a very slim risk, but a risk all the same. And, I'm shifting gears because I think that, Doctor, you've been very insightful.